Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to the beautiful Flathead Valley in northwestern Montana, off the stretch of U.S. Highway 93, in between Kalispell and Whitefish, Montana. My name is Scott Gladstone. So excited to bring you today's game between the visiting Missoula Paddleheads and the host Glacier Range Riders. The Range Riders are coming in on a 5-game home losing streak, and it does not get any easier with the defending champions squaring off against them today. It was a series coming in for the Range Riders that was the exact opposite way they wanted to start the second half of their season. They get a reset of their record, but they take the second game, lose all the others, including a couple games that had some really tough stretches for them here at the home ballpark at Flathead Field. On the other side, Missoula Paddleheads, they actually kind of got an essential north versus south number one playoff-bound team matchup as the Paddleheads took on the Ogden Raptors. Both of them won the first half of each of their respective divisions, and Missoula took the series 4-2. However, because of Idaho Falls beating Glacier 5-1 in their series, Idaho Falls has the North Division lead. Doesn't matter that much for Missoula, except for the fact that they want to win both halves, just like they did last year, and make their way back to the championship game where they would love to repeat as Pioneer League champions. The work is cut out today for Tanner Solomon. Tanner Solomon is making his second career professional start and his first ever start at the Range Riders home ballpark, Flathead Field. And for Tanner Solomon, starting games is nothing new to him. In college at Wayland Baptist, where he had a 5-year career, he had 52 starts out of his 63 total appearances. However, in the indie ball circuit for him, it's been the exact opposite. Right away, manager Nick Hogan asked him to come in and take a long relief bullpen type role, and he has accepted it with flying colors. He made 16 appearances out of the pen, being one of the workhorses for this Glacier Range Rider squad. But with the departure of Logan Van Wy, because of him signing with the Houston Astros organization, becoming the first ever Range Rider to sign to play affiliated pro ball, Tanner Solomon has moved into that spot in the lineup that was previously, or spot in the rotation that was previously held by Logan Van Wy. He has been the starting pitcher in the only win that the Glacier Range Riders have picked up in the second half of the season, a convincing win over Idaho Falls last Wednesday. And now he makes his second start and his 18th appearance, first at home, and he is in search of his first professional win. The Range Riders picked up the win in that Wednesday game against Idaho Falls, but they did not Tanner Solomon did not go long enough to, excuse me, I just had a sneeze there. Did not go long enough to pick up the win. He has an 0-3 record in those 17 appearances, 36 strikeouts, 16 walks in over 36 innings pitched. On the other side, they're going up against a guy who's fairly new to Missoula, but has the inverse record. 3 starts, 3-0 record, 19 innings pitched, and 16 strikeouts to 6 walks. A ERA of 2.84 for Austin Seidel. Austin Seidel is a guy that comes out of the NAIA, but he had a ton of success for the Tabor Blue Jays after going to that school in Hillsboro, Kansas. Originally went to Cloud County Community College in Concordia, Kansas. He is a Texas guy through and through. Was born on March 10th, 1998 in New Braunfels, Texas. Braunfels? Don't know for sure. My Texas pronunciations are correct. And he comes to the Missoula Paddleheads from the American Association, where he was a pitcher for the Cleburne Railroaders. That's where he started this year, and he struggled down in Texas in his home state. An 0-1 record, an 8.44 ERA, and just 10 2/3 innings pitched, with 8 strikeouts to 9 walks. So he's a guy, when he's in the strike zone, he can be hard to hit. His collegiate career at Tabor, 2 years at Tabor, and in that time, a ton of success. 15-4 record, 3.07 ERA. He had 7 complete games, 6 saves, And to top it all off, he had 220 strikeouts, which is an absurd number for 2 seasons, and 51 walks for him, the Texas native. Glacier Range Riders, I mentioned the last series that they played. I'll tell you a little bit about their last game that they played. It was a 9-6 loss to the Idaho Falls Chuckers on Sunday afternoon. Idaho Falls took advantage of early miscues by the Glacier Range Riders defense. They were leading 8-1 after the 5th inning, making it 9-1 by the 7th inning. But the Range Riders found a way. They rallied in the bottom of the 8th inning. They led off the frame with a Livingston Morris home run. And that home run, and I'll mention it when he comes up to bat as well, but that came off the bat at 109 miles per hour. There were 4 more runs scored with a 2 RBI hit from Ryan Cash, or an RBI hit from Ryan Cash, 2 RBIs from Sam Linscott, and an RBI double from Dean Miller. But they could not complete the comeback. They ended up falling 9-6. Already mentioned the departure of Logan Van Wy, but there are some other players that have made their way into the roster for the Glacier Range Riders. We'll see 2 for sure make their debut, and we also have a chance to see another one come out of the pen if we see Jonathan Tyler. And let me start there with Jonathan Tyler. He is a relief pitcher and a former fighting Camel. Yeah, he comes from Campbell University. 3 seasons down there. He had a 1-2 record, a 5.34 ERA, 1 save, 49 strikeouts to 32 walks. He stands big on the mound, a 6'5", 240-pound right-hander, originally from Santa Clarita, California. The 2 Range Riders that we'll see in the starting lineup tonight for the first time ever will be also professional debuts for Sims and Scott. That is Drew Sims and Robbie Scott. For Drew Sims, for Robbie Scott, he played the first half of his summer down in Florida in a summer collegiate wood bat league, the Florida Collegiate Summer League. Played for the Sanford River Rats. He hit .427 over the first 26 games, and hitting .427, that'll get you picked up to play some pro ball. He played his college ball, finished it up at King University in Tennessee. He had a .372 batting average in the spring, 29 stolen bases, so a lot of speed for him as well. And the mascot for King University is the Tornado, which is a great mascot. Singular, just the King Tornado, I believe. And then Drew Sims will be the catcher tonight for the Glacier Range Riders. For Sims, he makes his way to the Flathead Valley from Utah Valley University, UVU. He finished up a 5-year career with the Wolverines, played 176 career games in college. He had 18 doubles to his name, 6 home runs, 111 total hits, and 60 RBIs. He also had a stint in the Cape Cod Baseball League, which is widely recognized as the best summer collegiate baseball league in the country. Sims played his college ball in Utah, but is from Hollywood, California. So let's see if it's showtime for Drew Sims in his professional debut tonight, as well for Robbie Scott, who is originally from Longwood, Florida. I'll go over the starting lineups real quick just so you have a brief intro to what you're going to see tonight. Ben Mcconne is the center fielder. He'll lead off for the Glacier Range Riders. Ryan Cash plays second base per usual and bats second. Sam Linscott is the right fielder. He's in the 3 spot. Brody Wofford is at first base batting fourth. Dean Miller, third baseman, is fifth. Livingston Morris, the designated hitter, sixth. The bottom 3 have the 2 debutants. And Drew Sims, the catcher, Robbie Scott, the left fielder, and Brant Broussard, a staple at the second leadoff spot, playing shortstop and rounding out the starting lineup. I already mentioned Tanner Solomon making his first home start on the mound. On the other side, for the Missoula Paddleheads, the defending champions that returned so much talent from their team last year, let me go over their starting 9. Brandon Reilly is the leadoff man. He's playing left field. Cameron Willman, the shortstop, will bat second. Lamar Sparks and Jason Newman make up 3-4, playing right field and first base respectively. The designated hitter is Nick Gatewood, wearing the number 4, batting 5. Keaton Greenwald, the center fielder, is wearing number 16. He'll bat 6. The bottom 3 is Cameron Thompson at third, Nick Cece, the catcher, and McLean O'Connor, the second baseman, who is wearing the number 30 for the Missoula Paddleheads, who are in their road blacks with Zootown across the front. I'll tell you a little bit more about their unis and what the Range Riders are wearing. It's the home whites, spoiler alert. The pitcher for the Missoula Paddleheads is Austin Seidel. Already told you a little bit about him, and I'll tell you more about him as he takes the bump in the bottom of the first. The right-hander from Texas. We are having the final lead-in to the starting lineups, the national anthem, and it should be a great game between these two squads. Something to note for the Glacier Range Riders, in the month of July they have struggled, to say the least. 6-16 record. On Tuesdays, which this is a Tuesday, they have a total of 2 wins and 4 losses. And for them, a huge, huge thing, and it makes a lot of sense. Clearly, it's not, the stupidest stat to bring up. But at home, they've had a really tough stretch of allowing runs in the top of the first against visiting opponents. And let's just say, when the opponent scores first against the Range Riders, they have 7 wins and 25 losses. When the Range Riders score first, they're just over 500, 11 wins and 10 losses. A big discrepancy there, over 500 and 7 and 25, which is, that's not great, not ideal. The coaches for the two squads, Nick Hogan in his first season, 18 and 35 record, the same record as these Glacier Range Riders. And for the Missoula Paddlehead, it's Michael Schlacht. He has over 100 wins in his career with 44 losses. We are reading out the starting lineup. I'll turn it over to Tony Hernandez, our PA announcer, to finish the starting lineup. And then we will hear the national anthem, and let's play some baseball. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Paddleheads and the Range Riders on YouTube. The national anthem has been sung, and we are ready for baseball here at Flathead Field. The Missoula Paddleheads, a second-half record of 4 wins and 2 losses. They are 1 game back of first place. The Idaho Falls Chuckers stand at 5-1. The reason they're there is because the Glacier Range Riders have played them all 6 games. That means the Range Riders come in with a record of 1 win and 5 losses. That's 4 games behind first place. There are 43 games to go in this second half of the season for the Glacier Range Riders. Lots of time to make 4 games up. The winner of each half goes to the playoffs. Missoula and Ogden have already booked their spots. And this 6-game stretch with the defending champions, though there is a lot of time to go, it does have a feeling of a series to show kind of the guts of the Glacier Range Riders after they really struggled in their last series against the Idaho Falls Chuckers. His home debut, I already mentioned the professional career of Tanner Solomon. Just 1 start on the road, and he pitched really well at the Idaho Falls Chuckers, kept them in check enough, and the offense came to play where he departed with a lead, and then the offense really turned on the Jets in the late inning to coast away to a 7-run victory. He did not pick up the win, however. This past season at Wayland Baptist, in 14 starts for him, he threw 68 1/3 innings, and he had 79 strikeouts to 25 walks, and an ERA in that Wayland Baptist season of 4 wins and 3 losses. For Tanner Solomon, under 6 foot as a pitcher, 5'10", 175 pounds. He throws with his right hand. He's 23 years old, will turn 24 in December. And though he played his college ball in Texas, he is a kid out of Arizona. So the 86-degree day here in sunny in Kalispell will be cool weather for the guy that has played pretty much all of his baseball in the American Southwest up until this season. Pitch number 1, we are underway at 7:03 p.m. Already mentioned 86 degrees and sunny on this Tuesday, July 26th. First pitch was a ball. That one is also a ball. Count goes to 2-0 right off the bat. We do have a pitch clock in effect, but it's not going to be a problem with Tanner Solomon. He moves incredibly fast on the mound. There he finds the zone, and it's swung on, a foul back. Count goes to 2-1. No outs here. It's Brandon Reilly at the plate. He's playing left field. Cameron Willman bats second. Sparks third. The middle 3 are Newman, Gatewood, and Greenwald. And the bottom 3 are Thompson, CC the catcher, and McLean O'Connor. This one's fouled off and out of play. Count goes to 2-2. No outs. Bases empty. Top of the first, just underway between the Missoula Paddleheads and the Glacier Range Riders. 2-2 pitch coming in, and it misses up and away. Count will go full now to lead off this game. Tanner Solomon has talked with me briefly here and there about the toughness of, as well as coaches, just the toughness of adapting to a relief role. As this one's hit over to second. Ryan Cash fields, waits for Brody Wofford to be on first base in time. It is out number 1 here in the top of the first. The Range Riders off to a good note. Like I was saying, Solomon, 14 starts, 14 appearances for Wayland Baptist. That in 2022, all he's known is being a starting pitcher. And so for him to come and revert to what he had to do more in, for example, his freshman season at Wayland Baptist, where he had 5 starts and 15 total appearances, so 10 times out of the pen, it was much more difficult. It was difficult to some degree for him to kind of get used to that, and now this is where he's comfortable playing in the starting role. It's it's a very different feel as the count is 1-1 as Willman fouled off the second pitch after the first pitch was a ball high. 1-1, nice breaker, but it misses. Oh, no, it hits. Our home plate umpire, Raymond Bidwell, has a delayed call. That was the first called strike we've seen. Hopefully that was just him taking a second, and he's not gonna make me wait that long, as that one will miss. Definitely. Count is 2-2. 1 out, bases empty for Cameron Willman, who's the shortstop today. Late swing, back to Solomon. He's going to barehand it and fire it, and a stretch and a nice play from Tanner Solomon. The turf gave him a nice bounce, It was slow motion into his right hand. As soon as he made sure he had secured it, he took a second, waited for Wofford to be on first, and then he fired it over on target in time for out number 2. A great play. Shows the athleticism of Tanner Solomon for out number 2. That was really only his play to make. Miller playing pretty deep over at third base. Would have had to charge hard and fast to get to that one. That one limbos number 9, Lamar Sparks. Off the plate, it's a called ball. Counts 1-0. Solomon at 11 pitches right now in this inning. That one will miss down low as well. He's fallen behind in all of his counts to start, but 2 groundouts have 2 away with the number 3 batter Sparks up. The right fielder will see the 2-0 pitch. That one will also miss. Dealing with Sparks right here is a fairly high concern because the powerful Jason Newman, who leads the Pioneer League in home runs, is on deck. Called strike there. There is an immediate audible strike call from our home plate umpire, Raymond Bidwell. But I'll just have to keep my ears out for that because he does have a delay. This is a swing and a miss. Count goes full here. 3-2, 2 outs in the top of the first. Solomon will set on the mound. Lamar Sparks will prepare to receive. It'll miss outside. And it will be a walk, not a 1-2-3 inning. Jason Newman will step in wearing the number 55 jersey. The defensive alignment for the Glacier Range Riders tonight, it's Sims behind the plate, Miller's over at third, Broussard at short, Cash is the second baseman, and Wofford, who we've seen make nice stretches over, well, one nice stretch and then a very, very, very routine play on that Cash at ground out. He's the first baseman. Scott makes his professional debut out in left field. Mcconne and Linscott, as usual, are center field and right field for the Glacier Range Riders. First pitch coming into Jason Newman, and he will watch that one sail off the plate. Count goes to 1-0. Solomon, 17 pitches thrown now, and he does blow up the strike zone. So a little weird to see him below 50%, but he can take care of this Paddlehead squad as this one will be hit out to right. It'll be backing up to the track, and right with his shadow on the back wall, the catch is made by Sam Linscott. So a walk in the top of the first, but other than that, it is no hits allowed by Tanner Solomon in his first ever home start as a professional. 0-0, we head to the bottom of the first. Austin Seidel, the starting pitcher for the visiting squad here, the Missoula Paddleheads. Though a late start for him due to him starting his season in the American Association, he has come in and can be qualified as one of the aces for this Missoula Paddlehead squad that has sent a couple players to affiliated ball after their contracts have been bought out by MLB squads. 2 years at Tabor, which I already mentioned, an NAIA school. In that time, 15 wins and just 4 losses. He has yet to receive a loss as a Missoula Paddlehead. Did have an 0-1 record in Cleburne down in Texas. First pitch is a called strike, and the count goes 0-1 against Ben McConnell, the leadoff man. Cash will bat second, Linscott third. Middle three are Wofford, Miller, Morris, and the bottom three are Sims, Scott, and Broussard. That one gets a flinch out of McConnell, but he sees it off the plate. McConnell on the season, this is his 51st game played, and he has 3 home runs and 22 RBIs, batting .292. Lashed foul, count goes to 1-2 for McConnell. An on-base percentage of .370, which is just above the Range Riders' average on-base percentage, which is .363. 1-2 coming into McConnell. Misses high. Count will go to 2-2 now. Paddleheads made the Range Riders work in the top of the first, getting 18 pitches out of Tanner Solomon, but no runs across. Called strike 3, and it, even with the fact that it takes our home plate umpire Raymond Bidwell a second to make his motion, that also felt like a slightly delayed call there. The audible part of it, as you might have been able to hear it on the audio. But it is called strike 3. McConnell didn't like it, but all he can do is shake his head and walk back to the dugout. Third base umpire today is Brandon Snyder. The first base ump is Kelly Atkinson. 3-man crew per usual for this Pioneer League baseball game. First pitch misses to Ryan Cash. Cash on the season, batting .349, leads the Range Riders with 2 home runs and 36 ribbies. Missing low, count goes to 2-0. Despite his solid batting average, his on-base percentage also really solid at .421. 2-0 pitch coming into Cash. Right down the main street, called strike. Count goes to 2-1 for the Texan second baseman, battling against a fellow Lone Star Stater. 2-1 coming in. Swung on and missed by Cash. Count goes to 2-2 now. Seidel, a solid customer on the mound. 6'3", 235. That one will miss high. Count goes full for Ryan Cash. 3-2, 1 out, bases empty in the bottom of the first. A 0-0 ball game between the Paddleheads and the Range Riders as they get game 1 of a 6-game series underway here on this Tuesday night in the Flathead Valley. Swung on and missed, and that was never really a confident swing from Ryan Cash. I think he saw that one heading towards the same spot that Ben McConnell strikeout that was called strike 3 was. And didn't want to go down looking, but really that was not the ferocity in which we're used to seeing Ryan Cash swing. He goes down on strikes, and now Austin Seidel will try and strike out the side, seeing Sam Linscott. Right fielder today. First pitch will just miss the body of Linscott. Count goes to 1-0. The defensive alignment for the Missoula Paddleheads. CC's behind the plate. Thompson's over at third. Willman's at shortstop. O'Connor's the second baseman. Newman plays over at first. The outfield from left to right is Reilly, Greenwald, and Sparks. This is a foul ball into the mitt of CC. Count goes 1-1 now. Linscott, the Washington native, up against Austin Seidel. Looking to go 1-2-3 in his opening frame. Called strike, count will go to 1-2 against Sam Linscott. Austin Seidel did have a brief stint at Tarleton State University. As the 1-2 was about to come in before I think Sam Linscott called time. 1-2, 2 outs, bottom of the first, nobody on. 0-0 game between the Paddleheads and the Glacier Range Riders. Pitch coming in. Swung on. This one's cracked out to right field. Lamar Sparks takes 1 step back and now 4 steps forward to make the catch for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts for Austin Seidel. We're 0-0 as we head to the second. We are back here in the top of the second inning. It's Nick Gatewood, the designated hitter, that'll lead off the inning, batting out of the left-handed batter's box versus the right-hander Tanner Solomon. 18 pitches, already mentioned in the first inning for Solomon. His counterpart Seidel had 15 pitches. This is a high fly ball over near third base. Dean Miller backing up and making the grab. That one almost escaped his glove, but in foul territory, he cinches it into a snow cone, and one pitch, one out. Much appreciated from Tanner Solomon on the pop out to Dean Miller. Up comes Keaton Greenwald. He is the center fielder, batting number 6 today. Already mentioned the Paddleheads are wearing their main road kit that you see them wear. Zootown on the front, which is the fun nickname for Missoula. First pitch is a called ball to Greenwald. Jerseys are black with Zootown and the numbers on back in orange, and orange fringe around the collar as well. This one swung on and stroked foul. Hard, but too far down the left field line. Gray pants for the Paddleheads, and a couple of them in stirrups, including Keaton Greenwald at the plate. He's got the stirrup look well. This is a check swing from him, but he fouls it up and into the railing in front of the luxury suite boxes. It's a foul ball. Count goes to 1-2. 22 pitches thrown by Tanner Solomon. Make this 23 as it is hit high into shallow right field. Linscott casual coming onto it. Shields his eyes from the sun, but makes the catch for out number 2. He did drop that, but that was clearly on the transfer. I'm a little surprised Greenwald didn't at least try and get that call to go in his way. But it was clearly on the transfer as Linscott grabbed it, and then when his right hand was grabbing it out of the glove in the left hand, just slipped and hit the turf, and a couple of the fans reacted. This is a hit over to Ryan Cash. Call it a 1-2-3 6-pitch inning for Tanner Solomon. 3 up, 3 down, we head to the bottom of the second. Back here, and it'll be 4-5-6 for the Glacier Range Riders, including Brody Wofford to lead off this inning. Austin Seidel will try and outmatch the performance we saw from Tanner Solomon in the top of the second. He has no strikeouts to his name right now. Solomon doesn't, but a 6-pitch, 1-2-3 inning, well, that's not too shabby. Swung on and fouled. Almost looked like a miss from Wofford, but it might have hit the end of his bat there. Count goes to 0-1 for Brody Wofford. Wofford on the season, batting .260. He's got 7 home runs and 38 RBIs. His 7 home runs is tied for second with Livingston Morris on the Range Rider squad. This one's hit out to shallow right field. Lamar Sparks charges in quickly, but eventually slows his run and makes the grab for out number 1 in the bottom of the second. Dean Miller stepping up now. Miller playing third base today. Glacier Range Riders in their regular home whites. White shirt, white pants. On the front of the jerseys, they got letter or numbering in Jammer red. And then the Range Riders on the front and the numbering on the back are in the rifle green, which is one of the colors of the Range Riders. Called strike to start off the at-bat for Dean Miller. He leads this Range Rider squad in home runs. He's got 9. Livingston Morris on deck. Him and Andrew Stout were signing autographs before the game out right in the front of the gates as soon as you enter Flathead Field. This one's plopped over in the yet-to-be-opened rocks area down the right field line in foul territory. 0-2, 1 out. The pitch about to come in to Dean Miller from Austin Seidel, who needs to get an out here and then an out on 1 pitch to Livingston Morris to equal what Tanner Solomon did. It will not be possible. He's going to throw more pitches than Tanner Solomon as that one misses high. Count goes to 1-2. Dean Miller from California, Riverside to be exact. Played for the community college there and then UC Riverside before taking his talents to the Red Sox organization. A called strike 3 and a long stare from Dean Miller as he has to accept the called strike 3, the backwards K. There's 2 outs here as Seidel at 6 pitches, gonna at least have to throw 1 more than Tanner Solomon, but still could equal what Solomon did, a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch finds the zone. Called strike. Count goes to 0-1 for Seidel. The key, I mentioned his stats in Cleburne. He had more walks than strikeouts. And as this one is hit into shallow center field, it's going to be a base hit for Livingston Morris. That bat is having a funeral later. I feel like Livingston Morris does that too. Every other bat he has. Jeez, man. Yeah, so a broken bat single for Livingston Morris. And now the first professional pitch will be seen by Drew Sims. It'll be a ball high. Drew Sims, I already mentioned what he brings to this Range Riders squad. He comes from Utah Valley University, where he just finished up 5 seasons with the Wolverines. Played in the Cape Cod Summer Collegiate League as well. This one's fouled back. 176 Division I games is what Drew Sims has under his belt. A ton of experience behind the plate, and he brings a lot of that to join Justin Mazzone as now the 2 only catchers on the roster. 1-1 after the foul ball by Sims. That one misses high. Count goes to 2-1 for Drew Sims. Hollywood, California, stands 6'4", 240 pounds. Seidel sets on the mound. Kicks, fires. Strung on. This one is going to be fair down the right field line. Running all the way is Livingston Morris as it ends up bouncing off the wall. A stop sign up for Livingston Morris. And, it would have been a close play at the plate. The first professional hit from Drew Sims is a double down the right field line. A dream start for him. The only thing that would have made it better as if he got an RBI tacked on the side as well. But now another man coming up and having his first professional opportunity is Robbie Scott. I mentioned the frame of Drew Sims, 6'4", 240. Robbie Scott, 6 foot, 175 pounds from Longwood, Florida. He's got a guy from Hollywood and from Longwood, but across the country from each other. And the kid who had a phenomenal first half of his summer with the Sanford River Rats now sees the first pitch low and inside. Count goes to 1-0. 2 outs. Bottom of the second here. Runners on second and third. Sims is at second. Morris is at third. I think Sims had a career total of 2 stolen bases for his entire collegiate career. So I don't know how much more he can offer with his speed, as thought about swinging but doesn't go, and it's a called ball. Count is now 2-0. But then again, he will be running on most contact as he's at second base with 2 outs. Got to give a lot of credit to Lamar Sparks for getting to that ball down the right field line with enough alacrity to then fire it in and entice the stop sign out of manager Nick Hogan. 2-0 pitch coming in with 2 outs and 2 on in the bottom of the second. 0-0 game, and Robbie Scott will watch that one miss. He's yet to take the bat off his shoulder in his professional career. A 3-0 pitch coming after right before that pitch, CC met with his pitcher Seidel to have a conversation about how to approach this. Brant Broussard waiting on deck. Will he get a chance with the bases loaded? The 3-0. It'll miss inside. Robbie Scott reaches base in his first professional plate appearance, a 4-pitch walk. First professional plate appearance, might have been one of his easiest, as he will take it, and he has a ton of wheels over at first, so expect him to be very dangerous in the case that he is able to get running over there on first. He had 29 stolen bases this spring, did the man Robbie Scott over at first. Everybody will be going on contact. Called strike to start off the at-bat for Brant Broussard. In stark contrast to the men on first and second, Brant Broussard has been here since day one. This is his 52nd game. Rarely gets a day off. He's got 20 RBIs, a home run, and he's batting .237, usually in the number 9 spot. Swung on. This one's a slow roller to second base. McClain O'Connor will field. He'll bobble. It'll be safe over at first. The throw to the other side will get by, and that's going to be an error there for sure. And 1 score, 2 score. First professional runs from Sims and Scott. It is 3-0 with 2 gaffes by the Missoula Paddleheads. Broussard is into second base. Brant Broussard, I will tell you, he leads this Range Rider squad in times reached on an error. That has happened, I think, 10 times for him or something like that this year. And after he won a game on a walk-off error, I asked him about it, and he said, he first of all, he was surprised, and then he was like, well, you know, sometimes you don't get the call, and that'll happen once in a while, but when you are like way ahead, 10 reached on errors compared to 3 is the next closest, there's some skill to it for Broussard. I'm sure he'd rather get hits, as he might get an RBI for that one. That is all going to be in the hands of our official scorer, Brittany. The bottom line is it is 3-0 after a play that will be remembered, especially by the 2 guys that were on base for the first time in their professional career. This one's hit over to first. Newman fields, and he'll flip for out number 3. It was close over there at first base. 3 runs scored off of the single error that we see on the scoreboard right now. Make it a double error, actually. The second one just popped up. So an E4 and then an E3 make it 3-0. Don't go anywhere. The Range Riders lead. First pitch coming in is a ball to Nick Cece. Count goes to 1-0 as now Tanner Solomon will work with the lead. This one swung on. It's up the chimney, and it's a foul ball. Up and out of play. Sometimes when you are on the schneid, as they say, which is a losing streak for a team, another name for it. When you're on the schneid, you need some things to just go your way to get out of the funk. A foul ball there makes it 1-2. Nick Cece on the season. He's batting .281 in 15 appearances for the Paddleheads. What that officially goes down as is an E4 on O'Connor and then an E3 on the throw from Jason Newman that got away from the third baseman, Cameron Thompson. Wow. A lot of weirdness happening. This one's a slow roller down the third baseline, but it's going to go foul. Whew, need to catch my breath from that one. That has been the most explosive play, really, that we've seen. Not explosive, but that's the first time 3 runs have scored in a single play in the second half of the season, as we've only had the 3 games with Idaho Falls. But a huge, huge break for the Glacier Range Riders is Brant Broussard. I don't know what he does to opposing defenses, but he puts the right stuff coming off the bat and makes the play. Gets on base. His speed definitely helps. He rushes the throws from other players. Speaking of Broussard, he's going to not be able to catch that one, as it'll be a hit. And the no-hitter that Tanner Solomon had working is gone as Nick Cece reaches to lead off the top of the third. Tanner Solomon, 31 pitches thrown. And McClain O'Connor, who had that initial error to end the shutout for his pitcher Seidel, will now step in. McClain O'Connor, originally from Nevada. First pitch there misses low. Count goes to 1-0. Played for the Paddleheads last season. 1-0. That one will smack the zone. A called strike. Count goes to 1-1 now. It is 3-0. We're in the third inning here. Right now the Range Riders have 2 hits and 2 errors against them, for them. As the ball misses, count goes to 2-1 for McClain O'Connor. O'Connor on the season. He's batting .303 as he's found himself a solidified spot in the starting lineup for this Missoula Paddlehead squad. Swung on. That one is ripped to right center field. It's going to get down. Charging for third is Cece, who got caught in between for a second. Looks like he hesitated, but he's just going to gamble and make sure to get to third base, and it pays off. No throw, as a single puts runners on the corners with no outs. This has been part of the story of the struggles recently for the Glacier Range Riders. Something goes right for them, and then they come back in the next inning. The other team just turns on the Jets. As now Brandon Reilly, the leadoff man, who's 0 for 1, will step in. First pitch swinging, and Cash can't come down with it. Just over his head, an RBI single from Brandon Reilly, and it's now 3-1. 3 straight hits, and the Paddleheads answer just like that. We've seen some great hops by Ryan Cash over at second base, but that one just levitating over his head and not able to reach up and pick that one out of the sky. This bottom of the lineup, and then now the top of the order, seeming to start to figure Solomon out, as he will miss low there, just trying to get something to go his way, and can't get the call in the bottom part of the zone. 1-0 coming in. Runners on first and second. Tying run represented at first. That one's a called strike. Count goes to 1-1. Willman, his first time up, grounded out to the pitcher, Tanner Solomon, as that was the play where he made that nice barehanded grab and throw to first base. 1-1. Defense shifted a little bit as Cash is closer to second against the right-hander Willman. This one swung on, and a foul ball makes it 1-2. Pitch number 40 coming up for Tanner Solomon. And again, mentioned he is a Phoenix native. So 86 degrees and sunny. Not going to be a problem for him. 1-2 coming in from Solomon. Delayed swing, and it's hit up and out of play. If there would have been a guy stationed there, maybe could have reached up and over the low rail in front of that rock zone, but not going to be able to get there in time. Brody Wofford, a lot of ground to make up, and that one was not in the air very long. Another foul ball. Count is 1-2. We're in the top of the third. No outs. Runners on first and second, and lots of speed in those two spots as O'Connor and Reilly are at second and first, respectively. I think I said second and third. Second and first. Third base is open right now. It's a 3-1 ball game as Willman prepares to receive. Swung on and missed. Never looked confident in his swing there, did Willman on that third pitch, and just trying to, I think, get part of the bat to it and see if he could put one into play or at least stay alive. But not able to come up with any contact, and it's a strikeout. Swinging the first strikeout of the day for Tanner Solomon. And now he has to cut through two very good players for this Missoula Paddleheads squad. First pitch, right down Main Street, a called strike to Lamar Sparks. Sparks, 0 for 0. He worked a walk his first time up. The ever-dangerous Jason Newman on deck. Lamar Sparks, this season, 412 batting average for the right-handed outfielder. 0-1, skips in the dirt. Good block by Sims. That's the first time we've really seen him been forced to show his blocking ability behind the plate. Stays in front of it. One, one out. Runners on first and second. The pitch in. Called strike. Lamar Sparks turns his head at that one. Doesn't like the call. Count goes to 1-2. A great Tuesday night crowd out here at Flathead Field. 1-2, one out. The pitch in. Skips in the dirt. The runner's going. The throw. Got him. Had him dead to rights, and that is a great thing to see for the Glacier Range Riders, who have, I believe this year, at least at home, failed to throw a runner out at third. And right there, Sims blocks it, gets down, picks it up, fires it over to third, and goes down as a caught stealing for McLean O'Connor. Dean Miller put a great tag on him. And now just one on with 2 outs as that pitch will miss outside. Count goes full. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner at first. Reilly will be running. He's got lots of speed over there. Doesn't steal a ton for the fact that he's a leadoff man and has those wheels. Only 4 stolen bases, and he's been caught 3 times. But clearly a guy that can boogie. This one's hit over, and it's fair. It's called fair down that right field line. I think that was right on the chalk essentially there, as there is no actual chalk, but right on that white there. And the great thing about actual chalk is you can see that white pop up, but our first base umpire, Kelly Atkinson, right on top of it, immediately signaled fair ball. That one just went beyond the reach of Brody Wofford, who would have really had to shoot out of the cannon to try and at least knock that one down. Goes down as an RBI double for Lamar Sparks. Great at-bat for him. would have had 2 RBIs under his belt if not for the throw out at third base. Very much helped by the fact that it was 3-2 with 2 outs, and Reilly got a run on the pitch, easily got home from it. Up comes big Jason Newman with a tying run on second base in a ball game that's now 3-2, and that one he just kind of flung his bat at it, came up empty. Count will be 0-1 to start. Oh, 1, 2 outs, runner on second. The pitch and another swing and a miss as Newman is down 0-2. I mentioned he leads this league in home runs, and I've said it almost every time he's played against the Range Riders. When you see that, you expect a lot of strikeouts. This guy has not done it a ton. Really good discipline at the plate, but fooled on the first 2 pitches against Tanner Solomon. Count goes 0-2. Solomon fires that one into the dirt. Collected by Sims. No advance from Sparks. Counts 1-2. 2 outs. Top of the third here. Early going to this ball game, but it is a big at-bat right now with Lamar Sparks' wheels on second and Jason Newman's heavy bat at home plate. Preparing to see the 1-2. Call the ball inside. Two. Now will come in. Solomon, I said he works so quickly. That's usually with runners not on the bases. Slows down a lot when runners get on. This one swung on, stabbed over to third, fielded by Miller. He has plenty of time to throw that one, and a great pick off the dirt from Brody Wofford for out number 3. So we see some good defensive plays made, enough to keep the lead in the hands of the Glacier Range Riders. 2 come in for Missoula, though. It is 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the third. Ryan Cash will be the leadoff man in the bottom of the third inning. 84-degree day and sunny here in beautiful northwestern Montana. The Flathead Valley on one side, the Whitefish Mountain Range on the other side. Beautiful Flathead Lake, the largest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi, and a called strike to start the bottom of the third to Ryan Cash. He struck out his first time up at the plate. That one will miss. Count goes to 1-1. Bottom of the third here. It is 3-2 after 3 runs came across for the Range Riders in the bottom of the second. And we do have an official scoring change to make. Broussard's actually going to be credited with a hit on that play that McLean O'Connor couldn't make the play on. He did bobble it and then throw to first, but it was going to be a close play anyway. So our official score has said it's a hit for Brant Broussard and then the E4. Swing and a miss there as Cash goes to 3-2. I think he thought for a second he might have struck out because he took a step towards the dugout before realizing, oh, I still have another run here. Still have another strike to get. The 3-2 coming into Ryan Cash. Swung on. This one's a high fly ball. Down the third baseline. Charging over is everybody, but nobody will get it. It will hop right over the fence about less than 5 feet over that fence. It would have been a tough play to make even if Thompson, the third baseman, would have got there in time. And it is 3-2 once more. Cash prepares for it, leads this Range Rider squad among active players in batting average. Sam Linscott on deck. This one swung on. It's going to be a fair ball this time, but the high fly ball will be navigated and corralled by Brandon Reilly out in left field. Sam Linscott now up. He's got 1 out to work with. Nobody on for him. It was a 2-out rally that brought the runs across last inning for Glacier, as it was a flyout and a strikeout to start the inning before Livingston Morris earned a single up the middle. Sims was able to get on with a double in his first professional at-bat. First professional plate appearance for Robbie Scott allowed him to walk and load the bases, and then the RBI single plus the E3 allowed 3 runs to score. First pitch to Sam Linscott is a ball. Count goes to 1-0. 3-2 is our score here. Make the count 1-1 after that one finds the zone. 1 out, bases empty for Austin Seidel. 44 pitches thrown by the Paddleheads right-hander. As this one swung on, looping, and it's foul. That's the second foul ball that's gone just over the fence that separates infield, in play, and out of play. Foul ball, 1-2. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the third. Sam Linscott at the plate. Linscott, recent graduate of Lewis Clark State. Swung on, another foul ball over there. This time, Newman right off the bat said, screw it, I'm not going to get it, not running to get it. It was in the second row of the rocks area. Sam Linscott just a little bit behind these pitches from Seidel and hitting them the opposite way. This one hit the opposite way as well, but it'll get down for a base hit. Stabbed on the high fastball and delivered it into right field. A 1-out single from Sam Linscott, and the right fielder is aboard for Brody Wofford. For Austin Seidel, I mentioned a 3-0 record in 3 starts for him. One of those games was against these Glacier Range Riders. He has allowed an average of 2 earned runs per appearance. This one's hit and it's foul. Because of the scoring change that Brant Broussard hit from an error to a hit, one of the runs will go down as earned against Seidel, but the second 2 will go down as unearned against him. The first unearned runs that are going to be on his resume this season as a Paddlehead. 0-1, one out. Runner on first. This one will miss up and away. Count goes to 1-1 for Brody Wofford at the plate. Wofford started off the last inning with a fly out to right field. One out. This one's hit, and it's a high fly ball to shallow right center field. Coming in is Sparks, and he will call off Greenwald and make the grab for out number 2, the second time that Wofford has flied out to right field. Up comes Dean Miller. He was the second out of last inning when he struck out looking. Call that he disagreed with. Whatever he might have said to Livingston Morris as he passed him up seemed to be the right thing. I think it's the same season ticket holder that is always parked right next to the on-deck circle. And I don't even know if you can see it. Let me check what your view is. No, you can't see it. Our scoreboard blocks it. Let me see if I can remove our scoreboard, though, here real quick and try and show you what I'm talking about. We're about to see the first pitch into Dean Miller. Misses inside. You still can't see it. You can kind of see in that left corner where Livingston Morris is warming up, basically right next to him on the other side of the netting. You see I can look down and see I assume season ticket holders always have those seats. As we get a swing and a miss, count goes to 1-1. And constantly, Livingston Morris, the most so, is in conversation with those guys. He enjoys interacting with the fans. I mentioned he signed autographs before the game for about the first 20 minutes after gates open. And you can see him as well as Miller, the man at the plate. Usually the guys sticking around and signing a ton of autographs post-game, as well as a lot of these players. Count goes to 2-1. Certainly, it's a lot easier to sign autographs and hang out with the fans after wins and a 5-game home losing streak. There are still guys out here giving their all and appreciating the fans showing up for them, which is really cool to see. 2-1 coming in. Misses low. Count goes to 3-1. A ball will put runners on first and second for Seidel. A strike will load up the count. 3-1, 2 outs, runner on first. Linscott watches that one go in for a strike on his teammate Dean Miller. The count will now go full. Linscott will be running on the pitch. Seidel at 55 pitches has thrown 2 more now than Tanner Solomon. The 56th pitch will come as the runner Linscott goes. Swung on. It's going to be a base hit. Linscott will easily get into third base. And now it'll be runners on the corners for Livingston Morris. Morris sparked the 2-out rally by getting himself on a broken bat single. And the thing that just has to blow your mind, if you saw how he shattered that bat, or at least heard me talk about it, that ball still got to medium depth center field. And that just shows the absolute power that Livingston Morris has when he connects. he can shatter bats and still get balls out there. Speaking of that, this one's powered down the left field line. It's a hit. It's going to be a double. The stop sign will be on for Dean Miller, but a single and now a double for Livingston Morris. He brings home a run. It is 4-2. Speak of cracking it off the bat. How about that for Livingston Morris? That one flew off the bat, and now runners on second and third with 2 outs, and a man who had a double his first time up as a professional steps up for the second time, Drew Sims. First pitch will miss low and inside for Sims. His last time up, I mentioned that double. It just landed fair down the right field line. As we've seen a fair amount of opposite field hits by these Range Riders. Livingston Morris was the first one that was really ahead of a pitch coming in from Seidel as he laced that one, pulled it down the left field line. Speaking of pulling a ball, this one is down the left field line. It is back, and it is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Drew Sims has gone yard in the second at-bat of his professional career. He brings home not one, not two, but 3 runs on the jack over the left field fence here at Flathead Field. Wow. The score goes from 4-2 to 7-2. And in 3 innings, this Glacier Range Riders offense has shown something that has been hard to see in the past few weeks. Taking advantage of a pitcher, Seidel, who has been, to say, dominant in his Pioneer League outings. And the first pitch after the home run, he launches it beyond his catcher. Count goes to 1-0 for Robbie Scott, who's 0 for 0 in his professional career, but a 1,000 on-base percentage. 1-0 with 2 outs. Base is empty now for Robbie Scott. Swings on it. Foul ball. Up and on the roof. Count goes to 1-1 now. Wow. That one off the bat, the question was not whether it was going to be gone. The question was whether it was going to be fair, and it was. Absolutely shellacked from the catcher, Drew Sims, and he might be need to be a name that these Range Rider fans should circle on the roster and try and remember that, because 2 at-bats of his professional career, he's already halfway to a cycle. 2-1. Swung on. This one is up. It is playable. The catcher will come over, and CC will make the play for out number 3. A 3-run home run alongside the RBI double from Livingston Morris. Another great offensive inning for the Range Riders. They're up 7-2 as we head to the 4th. We are back here in the top of the 4th inning. It is 7-2 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. And the first pitch will come in, and Nick Gatewood. It'll be a ball. Count goes to 1-0. That one is swung on, a foul ball. What a debut thus far for Drew Sims. A double his first time up, and he wasn't able to get the RBI his first time up on that double. As that one misses, count goes to 3-1, despite a fan behind home plate arguing for a called strike. 3-1 will miss off, and it'll be a leadoff walk to start the fourth for Nick Gatewood. Didn't get the RBI the first time up for Drew Sims, but the next time up, it's at least one RBI if you crack it over the left field fence. Yeah, that'll do. That will do. First pitch, a called strike, count goes to 0-1 for Keaton Greenwald. He is 0 for 1 on the day, popped out to shallow right field. This one swung on, going to be a slow roller over to Miller at third. He's going to make a nice play, charging it and throwing a first. Had no play at second, so he'll just take the gimme for a 5-3 ground out. Out number 1 here in the top of the fourth. The Range Riders really have not been used to leads of this magnitude over the past little while. The last time they had something like this was the last game Tanner Solomon started. And he's still looking for his first professional win, as he didn't go the 5 innings needed to get credit for that win in that game in Idaho Falls last week. But I'm sure, and knowing Tanner Solomon a little bit, I know he's the type of guy that would be certainly quite happy with just taking the team win, and even if you don't get credit for it, team win works just as well. And a swing and a miss is what he gets out of Cameron Thompson here. He has usually this season, and a little bit higher in college, but this season he's been about a strikeout per inning, and we haven't really seen that from him today. But utilizing contact, allowing his defense to make plays, it's worked well for Tanner Solomon. He's at 62 pitches through 4 1/3. This one, Drew Sims can't frame that one into the zone. Can't get the call from Ray Bidwell, our home plate umpire. Count goes to 2-1, 1 out, runner on second. 7-2 lead, but it is a long way to go. And for the Missoula Paddleheads, they have the offensive weapons to fire back into this game, no doubt. You can never count them out. Swung on, a foul ball. Two, 1 out. This one swung on. It's a slow roller over to Solomon, who will field and has a nice flip. He read that one before it was even swung on. That was amazing. Go back and watch the replay on that one. I'm going to try and watch it up on my delayed feed here. He was immediately running at that one. As soon as he started to see the swing, he was running down that first base line. He could tell that the batter, Cameron Thompson, was ahead of it, and that was cool. And you see that athleticism from Solomon. As he has a second great defensive play and a foul ball there. The runner, Gatewood, does move up to third on that one. He grabbed that one, and the fact that he just grabbed it cleanly, because it kind of took a weird hop for him. Grabbed it right around his shins or his shoelaces. And then flipped it. Swung on and missed. CC broke up the no-hitter that Solomon had through the first 2 innings after he put one up the middle past the outstretched glove of Brant Broussard. 0-2, 2 outs, runner on third. Solomon fires off the plate. CC wanted to protect, but he held back. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2, 2 outs, runner on third. CeCe prepares for it and swings and misses. Tanner Solomon, a leadoff walk, but he strands the runner at third. Still 7-2 Glacier. We head to the bottom of the fourth. We are back here in the bottom of the fourth. It is a 7-2 scoreline as Brant Broussard leads off the inning. He'll see the strike from Austin Seidel. Mentioned Seidel came in 6 runs against him, and all 6 were earned in 19 innings. He's pitched 3, and the Range Riders have put some sort of special sauce on what they're doing. 7 runs, 5 earned. Other than the error on Jason Newman, it has been quite the outing for the Range Riders offense. Of course, they'll take the error from Jason Newman as well. That's the reason we're at 7-2 rather than 5-2. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. This one is floating down the right field line, and it's going to be foul. Brant Broussard had at least 2 on his mind, but he'll have to take the walk back to home. Brant Broussard 1 for 1 because of that funky play that happened when he was up at the plate. He hit a slow roller to second base. He has the speed to beat it out, and it was a close enough play where our scorer gave him the benefit of the doubt. This one should be an out over at first, and it is. 6-3 ground out. Willman throws to Newman. And then Jason Newman saw the runner, who was Livingston Morris, I believe. No, it was not Livingston Morris. It was Sims, actually, that rounded third a little bit too much for his liking. First baseman Newman chucked it over to third. Thompson couldn't field it off the ground, and that is when the runs poured in and made it 3-0 in the bottom of the second inning when that happened. First pitch misses up and away. Count goes to 1-0 for Ben McConnell versus Austin Seidel. Seidel about to throw pitch number 70 for himself. Nobody warming in the Missoula Paddleheads bullpen. That one will find the outside corner of the strike zone. A called strike. Count goes to 1-1. I'm starting to get used to the zone, as this one will be up and over the head of the second baseman, and a base hit from Ben Mcconne. I heard a little bit of a deadening of the bat. Don't know if it was a broken bat. But whatever it was, powered well by Ben Mcconne to get into right field and get himself aboard. And now Ben Mcconne on the base paths is just as fun as watching him on the plate. Keep an eye at him over at first base. The graduate of Kaiser University. Actually just spent 1 year there. Sometimes I say graduate, and I just mean they played their final season. Sometimes they play 1 year into a master's programs. With COVID, the eligibility weirdness has gone out the window. But I believe he just played 1 year at Kaiser, if I have my mental notes correct. Pickoff attempt over at first is Seidel, well aware of the speed of Mcconne. Ben Mcconne on the season, 27 stolen bases. He's been caught 4 times. This one swung on, should be 2. Flip for 1. The throw is in time to get Ryan Cash. 6-4-3 double play. Erases the base hit from Ben Mcconne. Seidel faced the minimum in just 10 pitches. We'll be right back for the 5th inning. It's 7-2. Glacier leads Missoula. McLean O'Connor leads off the top of the 5th inning for the Missoula Paddleheads. Tanner Solomon comes out for another inning of work. First home professional start for Tanner Solomon, and it has been of high quality thus far. 4 innings pitched. And now into his 5th with that pitch high to McLean O'Connor. 1 for 1 is O'Connor, a single into center field. Take a look around the Pioneer League, and I'll update you on as that one smacks the zone. Count goes to 1-1. Sorry, I got to wait for that. Wait for that physical hand to come up from our home plate umpire, Bidwell. This is a late swing, and it's popped up to shallow right field. Ryan Cash, ever steady to make the play. Pop out is out number 1 in the top of the 5th. Up comes the leadoff man, Brandon Reilly, who's 1 for 2. Idaho Falls leads the North. They're 5-1. Missoula is in second. They've already clinched their playoff spot. They're 4-2. A tie for third between Great Falls and Billings. 3-3 is the record for both of those teams as they split their series last week. And the Glacier Range Riders round out the North standings with a 1-5 record, 4 games back of the first place spot. First pitch to Reilly misses low. Count goes 1-0. 1 out, bases empty for the leadoff batter. Reilly 1 for 2, a single into right field his last time up. That one will skip. Count goes 2-0. In the South, Grand Junction leads. Rocky Mountain is in second. NoCo is in third. Ogden and Boise tied for last, but Ogden already has booked their playoff spot, as has Missoula. 2-1 after the foul ball. We have one final, and that means Billings now is in sole possession of third place. They defeat the Northern Colorado Owls and continue the North Division's dominance over the South, as this one's a slow dribbler. Another foul ball. Count goes to 2-2. 1 out, bases empty here for Solomon versus Reilly. Northern Colorado now a part of the three-way tie for last, as I get us updated here. They're 2-4 as well. Grand Junction, who's in first place in the South, they are looking to go even larger in the lead, as it's a battle of 1-2 in the South. This one's hit over to first, fielded on the ground by Wofford, who calls off Solomon and will go unassisted to first base. 2 gone now in the top of the 5th. Solomon's at 77 pitches. He might look to come back in the next inning, but of course, going from a bullpen role to a pitching role, not only you have to worry about the kind of difference in how you approach the game, but also the difference in how long you go per game. What is your arm used to? And we'll kind of see that for here, as that one lands on the back of Cameron Willman. First pitch, hit by pitch. Willman advances to first base. Also around the league, we're having issues right now with our stats uploading, so that's the reason why, if you're trying to look on the online score, we don't have stats available right now. Idaho Falls, number 1 in the North. They lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th over Great Falls. And Ogden leads Boise 1-0 down there in Utah. First pitch coming into Lamar Sparks. It's a good grab behind the plate from the catcher, Sims. Count goes to 1-0. That's a big swing and a miss from Lamar Sparks. Count goes now to 1-1. One coming in. That one skips in the dirt. Thought about maybe throwing that to second, but Willman doesn't try and go to second, so count goes to 2-1. Due up in the bottom half of this inning, it's 3-4-5, Linscott, Wofford, and Dean Miller. The pitch swung on over to third. Lots of speed from Sparks, so got to throw it hard down that right, or down to that right field line, where the first baseman, Brody Wofford, is waiting for it. He grabs it for out number 3. So a hit by pitch is the only base runner for the Missoula Paddleheads. It is another scoreless inning thrown by Tanner Solomon. He's at 82 pitches. We'll see if we see him in the 6th. Until then, more at-bats for the Range Riders coming up in the bottom of the 5th. We are back here. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It is a lead right now for the Glacier Range Riders. Austin Seidel coming out for his 5th inning of work, as Sam Linscott leads us off 1 for 2 tonight. And the first pitch he will see is swung on. It's a high fly ball to shallow left field. The shortstop comes back. Willman makes the grab for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Seidel, who's working at 74 pitches right now. Brody Wofford 0 for 2 today, 2 flyouts to right field. Will come in. And though Wofford has an offer, things have happened in the innings where he's come up to bat. We didn't see him in the 4th, and that was a goose egg. We didn't see him in the 1st, and that was a goose egg for the Range Riders. But we saw him in the 2nd and the 3rd, and that was 3 and 4 runs, respectively. First pitch misses inside to Brody Wofford. Count goes to 1-0. We're starting to see some warm-ups as we get a left-hander up in the pen right now. Let me see if I can get some sort of number on that. It's really tricky as this one is hit out to left field. It's going to be out of, no, it's going to stay in play. It will be a fair ball down the left field line and caught by Brandon Reilly. 2 flyouts to right field and now a flyout to left field for Brody Wofford. And now Dean Miller steps up for the first time since the bottom of the 3rd inning. Miller started off a 2-out rally with a single into right field. Then a double from Livingston Morris put himself and Miller on for the man of the hour in his debut, Drew Sims, to crank one over the left field wall for his first professional dinger. First pitch to Dean Miller is a cold ball and a slow throwback from Nick Cece, who I'm sure was quite confused at that one not being called a strike. It did not look far outside the zone from my angle. Count goes to 1-0. That one goes up near the head of Dean Miller. Count now 2-0. 1 for 2 with that single last inning is Dean Miller. He had a long at bat. And that one is a called strike. Count goes to 2-1. Long at bat, pushed it all the way full. And then with 2 outs and a 3-2 count, Linscott was run on the pitch. He got to 3rd there, and he scored on the Livingston Morris double. 2-1 pitch coming in. Swung on another hard hit ball. This one was fielded off the hop by Willman, thrown off the back foot, and a nice play from the Missoula Paddleheads shortstop, Cameron Willman. His 2nd out, made out defensive play of the half inning for the Missoula Paddleheads. We come back for the 6th inning of work. Don't go anywhere. It's 7-2. The Paddleheads trail the Glacier Range Riders. We are in the top of the 6th inning. It is a 7-2 scoreline, and Jason Newman will lead off the frame for the Missoula Paddleheads. .830 now. local time. And where Jason Newman is from, California, it is 7:30. If he was from London, I don't know exactly what the differential from Montana to London is. But he's not from London. I don't think there's... there is an international player on the squad. A couple international players, actually, as that foul ball makes it 1-1. On this Paddleheads roster, they got a catcher, Henderson Perez, out of Libertador, Venezuela, as well as one of the players on their injured list is from the Bahamas. Don't know how much baseball is played in the Bahamas. Enough for Ellison Hanna II to make his way to play college ball at Indiana State. Swing and a miss. Newman goes down. I talked about how he doesn't strike out a bunch. But right there proves me wrong and goes down swinging. Solomon is out for his 6th inning of work. This looks to be his expiration date this inning, as he's at 86. You really don't expect guys to come out for another inning after they're over 90. But Solomon's just having fun out there. Count goes to 1-0. Now it's 2-0. Nick Gatewood up. He's 0 for 1. Popped out in foul territory to Dean Miller. And the 2-0 pitch comes in. Swung on, a miss from Gatewood. That one will miss inside and low. Counts now 3-1. 1 out. Bases empty for Nick Gatewood. Tanner Solomon just hit pitch number 90 on the mound. It is 7-2 here. The Glacier Range Riders lead the Missoula Paddleheads in the top of the 6th inning in game number 1. If you're a Range Riders fan and you are thinking about coming out and checking out some baseball, well, you got plenty of chances to do it every day this week, including Sunday. There will be Range Rider baseball here. Swung on, another foul ball. 7:05 start time tonight, as well as Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we play at 1:05, an early matinee game there in the afternoon. Make your way in, check it out, and round out your weekend with the Range Riders. Tanner Solomon will set, prepare another 3-2. Swung on and missed. Oh, no, he fouled it off, and it wasn't able to be grabbed by Sims. That was just fouled off right into the base of Sims there. So Gatewood has earned himself another pitch, and that one will be swung on and right to Brody Wofford. A line out to the first baseman. And we got 2 away here in the top of the 6th. Keaton Greenwald 0 for 2 today. Greenwald popped out to right field and grounded out as well. The strength of this Missoula Paddlehead squad is their they've got a big bug around my hair right now, sorry. Jesus. Don't know if that was a butterfly or a dragonfly or what, but it scared the living daylights out of me. Glad I didn't have the selfie cam, the webcam on, because just about launched myself into the floor trying to make sure that bug stayed out of my hair. But he has departed the press box. He, she, whatever. Cannot tell male and female bugs apart. Do not have that skill. This one swung on and hammered to left field, but it's foul. Count goes to 1-2 for Keaton Greenwald. Let me continue what I was saying. The strength of this Paddlehead squad is for sure their pitching. They have an ERA of 5.48, a whip of 1.63, and they also close out games really well. 12 saves on the year. Not to mention 500 strikeouts compared to just 423 for the Glacier Range Riders. This foul ball keeps Keaton Greenwald alive. However, they do have the offensive firepower needed as well. 332 batting average compared to 287 for the Glacier Range Riders. 22-9 in terms of triples, how they outdo the Range Riders. And then home runs are 74 to 52. That one is up high. It's a ball. Count goes to 2-2. 2 outs, bases empty. Tanner Solomon about to get to triple digits on the pitch count. Can he get out of this inning? On it, he will. It's swung on, it's in the dirt, and the tag will be applied. Tanner Solomon, what a start for him. He puts the Range Riders in a great chance to win this ball game. I don't think we'll see him back next inning, so I'm going to wait until we for sure see a bullpen player then, just in case, to give you his final line. What an outing for Tanner Solomon, suffocating the Paddleheads bats. We will see the Range Riders bats in just a few moments. We are back in the bottom of the 6th. It is a game that is led right now by the Glacier Range Riders, a score of 6-2. And Livingston Morris leads off the bottom of this frame. Austin Seidel has allowed 5 earned runs, but he has been able to go deep into this ball game and still out there pitching. And, man, if he gets through this inning quick, we could see him in another inning. Because he's at 81 right now, pitches thrown. Got through that last inning quick, and the double play helped him out quite a bit. But a thorn in his side has been Livingston Morris, a single and a double thus far for Morris, the designated hitter today for Glacier. Halfway to a possible cycle. That one will miss the catcher completely. Count goes to 2-1. The man on deck also has been a thorn in the side of the pitcher's side out. A home run and a double for Drew Sims in his pro debut. You can't write a script better than that. 3-1 is the count. Called strike. Livingston Morris will have to go and pick up his bat. He tossed the bat there, thinking it was ball 4. It was not. It was called a strike 2. 3-2. Swings on, fouls it back. Livy stays alive. No outs here as Morris leads off the bottom of the 6th versus Seidel. The 7th pitch of this at-bat, that will be ball 4. It all works out for Livingston Morris. He reaches for the 3rd time out of 3 attempts today. Up comes Drew Sims. Drew Sims absolutely lights out today. You have the feeling almost that it can't continue for him. At some point, they'll start to intentionally walk him or something, right? a double and a homer. He's hitting 1,000 in his professional career. He wanted a second homer there as he went hard at that one and came up empty on the fastball on the top of the zone. Drew Sims, 5 seasons at Utah Valley, 111 hits over the course of his time with the Wolverines. 2 as a range rider, the 0-1 coming in. Missing high, count goes to 1-1. Clearly Nick Hogan bringing in Sims in a big part because of that experience at a D1 level. He played quite a bit against fellow whack catcher Justin Mazzone, who are now the 2 guys that we'll see behind the plate this season. At least it seems. This is a high pop-up. And for the first time in his professional career, Sims will not reach the base path. And he goes to 666 in his professional career after popping out to second base. Up comes Robbie Scott, who has reached but does not have a hit to his name. Was able to walk to load the bases and score his first professional run on the error by Jason Newman. One out. Livingston Morris on first after reaching on the walk. Now Robbie Scott at the plate. Other than when he scored that run, which probably a lot of players would have scored, we did see some speed from him there, but we really haven't been able to see the wheels that he can bring. Nick Hogan, so good at bringing in guys that can run the base as well, because that's what he did in his baseball career. Loves guys that can do the same. That one will miss. Count will go to 2-0. Robbie Scott, I mentioned the phenomenal season that he has been having in the Florida Collegiate Summer League. 427 for him. A lot of times guys go to those summer leagues not knowing, as this one is laced down the left field line. That's a first professional hit. One will get the stop sign. How about it? Extra bases in the debut. Sims with a double and a home run, and Robbie Scott now with a double to start off his professional career. These new additions to the Range Riders have Nick Hogan loving it. Puts runners on first and second with 1 out. Brant Broussard will come up, but first we're going to have a conversation between Michael Schlacht, and I think we're seeing the point to the pen. That will be the end of the day for Austin Seidel. He's responsible for the runners on first and second, and I will tell you his final line, at least as it stands, when we come back. We're going to see a new pitcher coming up for the Missoula Paddleheads. Don't go anywhere. It's 7-2 in the bottom of the 6th. We are back here. We are in the bottom of the sixth. One out, runners on second and third for the Glacier Range Riders. Brant Broussard about to come to the plate to see the new pitcher, Dan Swain. Swain, a Siena College graduate. He played in the minors as an outfielder before being converted to a pitcher. And that is where he popped up on the Osprey radar. And I say Osprey because that's what Missoula was at that point. They were the Missoula Osprey. When they got a hold of Dan Swain in the outfield, they decided, well, why don't you try your stuff on the mound? And there's been some streaks of wildness from him, but he really can throw the rock hard. He comes in on the season. This is his 16th appearance, an 0-1 record, one save for him, and he has 29 strikeouts to 15 walks. His strikeouts per 9 innings, 16.66. That is an absurd number. He can come in, throw the ball hard, and get Ks, but the ERA of 6.32 is not something you want to emphasize too much. As Brant Broussard will step up here in a huge situation to extend the lead possibly for the Glacier Range Riders. One out, runners on second and third. At least maybe consider the possibility of sacrificing a run across. The infield is in for the Missoula Paddleheads. 1 for 2 is Broussard. Reached on that infield single that ended up scoring 3 runs because of the Jason Newman error. First pitch swinging, fouled out of play. 7-2 is our score here. I mentioned Scott's speed at second. If this ball gets into the outfield, watch for him possibly turning. We've seen fairly conservative signals from Nick Hogan over at third, and it seemed to have worked. As 7 runs have poured across, and nobody's been thrown out at the plate. 0-1 with 1 out coming into Brant Broussard. Missing low. Count goes to 1-1 now. Brant Broussard on the season, a .237 batting average, an on-base percentage of .351. 2 triples for him. But since these Range Riders finished their opening series in Colorado Springs against the Rocky Mountain Vibes, triples have been very hard to come by. 1-1 coming into Brant Broussard. That'll miss, a called ball. Count goes to 2-1. A couple of the warm-up pitches you might have seen, whether we were zoomed in on Swain on the mound or whether you could see the catcher as well receiving the pitches, is what we can say to whether you saw him or not. The extent of his warm-up pitches, a couple of them went to the backstop, which is never a good sign when you see a pitcher coming on and not being able to hit the catcher on his warm-ups. 2-1. That one removes CC from his crouch. Count goes to 3-1. A ball here will load the bases for Ben Mcconne on deck. Again, Austin Seidel just replaced, so he is responsible for the 2 runners. On second and third, if they are to score, they go against him. 3-1, 1 out. The pitch coming in to Brant Broussard. Foul ball, we go full. Dan Swain's first batter that he sees coming into a tough situation with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. But the guy you bring in a situation like this, a strikeout pitcher, a K here would be huge to limit the damage against for the Missoula Paddleheads. 3-2 with 1 out coming in from Swain to Broussard. It misses low. A full count walk drawn by Brant Broussard. And number 2, Ben Mcconne, will now step in. 1 for 3 tonight is Mcconne. He singled into right field, but was thrown out on the 6-4-3 double play that Ryan Cash grounded into right after Mcconne came up. It's not an easy double play to make, as both those guys are built with a lot of speed. First pitch coming in with the bases loaded to Ben Mcconne. Swung on, a foul ball. Count goes to 0-1. Oh, and skipped off the roof right above me. The infield is at medium depth right now. Possibly going to go for a play at the plate if they get that chance, but definitely wanting a double play here. That could end the inning. Ben McConne's got a lot of speed, though, so be careful. As that one misses the zone. I had to hold off on that one because of the delays we have from Bidwell behind the plate. It brought the catcher, CeCe, out of his crouch, but it did not look like it missed by much. The 1-1 with one out, bases loaded for Ben McConne. A chance to break this game wide open. Swung on. It's going to head towards left field, and it will get into the glove. Trying to tag up. The throw home is safe at the plate. Wow, Livingston Morris was heads up there. As he was gambling, saying, I think this left fielder Reilly's going to come up with a diving play. Reilly came up with a huge catch in left field, but Livingston Morris, hot off the bag, scrambles into home, slides feet first, and the sacrifice fly makes it 8-2 in favor of the Range Riders. That was a shallow, shallow hit, and if that was caught in the air, Morris would have been dead to rights at home. It was still a close play as Reilly put a heck of an arm on it after coming up from a full extension forward dive. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. And Ryan Cash has a runner in scoring position in Scott that will be running on contact. First pitch misses up high. Count goes to 1-0. What an at-bat there from Broussard to earn that full count walk. And then McConnell put it in play, give your guys a chance, and Livingston Morris, not the fastest guy on this team, but with a head of steam and a good lift off the bag there, makes it 8-2. Up near the head of Ryan Cash, he ducks out of it. Count is now at 2-0 for Cash. If he's able to find a fourth ball eventually, it will load the bases, putting Scott on third, Broussard on second, and obviously Cash on first. For Brody Wofford, for Sam Linscott, who stands on deck, one of the best batters for these Range Riders, batting in the 3-hole. 2-0 is swung on, carrying out to left field. It looks like Reilly sees it, and he gets under it for out number 3. A sacrifice fly from Ben McConnell is good enough for a run for the Glacier Range Riders. 8-2 is our score as we head to the 7th. the day is done for Tanner Solomon, and what a day it was. Exactly 100 pitches thrown from the right-hander from Phoenix, Arizona. His final line, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. A heck of a home debut in the starting role for Tanner Solomon. First pitch in from the new pitcher, Drew Hallwager, is outside. Count goes to 1-0. That one will miss low. Counts 2-0. For Solomon, he seems to have pitched just really well here at Flathead Field. There's something about it as he can really get on a roll and just cruise. He seems to really love playing in front of these home fans, and he is just a blast to watch when he gets rolling, especially because he moves quick. I mean, we're not even at 9 o'clock. We're in the 7th inning here. Love that. Love that from Tanner Solomon. You also just love to see good outings from good people, and Tanner Solomon is a good guy as well. Breaking ball, misses. Count goes to 3-1. Drew Hallwager, the new pitcher, coming in. This is his second appearance after returning from the injured list. The Springboro, Ohio native, graduate of Palm Beach Atlantic University. Started his career at the now defunct Furman baseball program. This one swung on up the middle. Broussard will field, and he'll throw. What a play. That is not an easy play to make from Brant Broussard as he's rolling to his left there, gets into the shallow grass, and then fires that one off balance to first base for out number 1. One out, top of the 7th. 8-2 is our score here. Let me make sure I have our scoreboard correct. I do. In comes Nick Cece. This one's hit over to short. Another tough play needed to be made by Broussard, but he'll fire that one on target in time. And the second batter is out the same way the first one went down, a 6-3 ground out. McLean O'Connor comes up. 1 for 2 is he. All 4 hits against Tanner Solomon came in the top of the 3rd inning, and a lot of composure by him after getting cracked a couple times to reel it in, limit the damage to just 2 runs, get out of the jam, especially against some dangerous bats that the Paddleheads have in the heart of their order. This one's hit, and will it be a 6-3 hat trick? Brant Broussard to Wofford, Broussard to Wofford, and on a 1-pitch at bat, Broussard to Wofford. All 6-3 groundouts. We head to the 7th inning stretch. Get up and sing along. Back here, we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Hope you sang along from home. I don't know exactly how good the audio quality was on the Take Me Out to the Ball game, but all these fans sticking around as the beautiful sunset behind us starts to turn the Flathead Valley from day into night. First pitch is up near the face of Sam Linscott. 1 for 3 is the right fielder for the Glacier Range Riders. He has a single into right field. 1-0, Dan Swain still out there. And now I can officially give you the final line on the starter for the Paddleheads, Austin Seidel. That one will miss Linscott as well, but not by much. Count goes to 2-0. Seidel went 5 1/3, 9 hits allowed, 8 runs, 6 earned, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The Paddleheads ace, really for the first time this year, dinged up in front of this home crowd at Flathead Field. Swung on. Count goes to 2-1 for Sam Linscott. Glacier Range Riders had an off day yesterday and fairly clearly enjoying that rest, as it is grueling in this point of the season. A ton of games played and not a lot of chances to worry about anything but baseball, as this is a high fly ball into shallow right field. Charging onto it is the right fielder Sparks, and he will end up calling off O'Connor for out number 1. Up comes Brody Wofford. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Last time up, he flied out to left field. We've seen him fly out to right twice. But the reason why he has a ton of sacrifice flies is he knows how to get it to the outfield. Put it over the fence 7 times this season. And the first pitch will miss and escape the glove of the catcher, Nick Cece. A refresher how the defensive alignment is if you joined us after the first inning, where I said the defensive alignment for both sides. Cece's behind the plate for Missoula. Thompson's over at third. Willman's at short. McLean O'Connor's the second baseman. Jason Newman plays over at first. Reilly is the left fielder. Greenwald is the center fielder. And Lamar Sparks is in right field. Just made that play on the Linscott flyout. Missing up high. Counts now 2-0. And here is a fact that I did not go this deep into my research. This is all a fact attributed to Todd Solomon, the dad of starting pitcher Tanner Solomon, who thankfully sent this my way by commenting on the Glacier Range Riders Facebook post, that there is actually a connection on these between these two teams in terms of Tanner Solomon. Of course, Todd's son played for the squad in the Prospect League, Lafayette, the Aviators. And I was mentioning the career of Robbie Scott, and as this will be ball 3, count goes to 3-1. 1 out, base is empty for Brody Wofford. Some players, whether it be they have an extra year eligibility, they're thinking about coming back to school, or whether, you know, they've done out their eligibility, but there's some summer collegiate wood bat leagues that allow players without eligibility to play. The Prospect League might be one of them, as this is a high fly ball. And another fly out to the outfield for Brody Wofford, who has had no problem getting it into the air, but just problem of finding some turf for a ball to fall on. Fly out to center field. Turns his night into 0 for 4. Up comes Dean Miller, who's 1 for 3. Let me finish this up before this inning ends. Jason Newman, after playing 6 years at Cal State Northridge, took his talents to the Las Vegas Aviators in the Prospect League, of course going unpaid in that summer collegiate league for the reason that those summer collegiate players can retain their collegiate eligibility. Had a successful summer there, a .314 batting average for him and 6 home runs for the Aviators, and that's when he either contacted or the Missoula Paddleheads contacted him. And yeah, the rest has been history, as they say. Jason Newman, especially in the indie ball era for the Pioneer League, he has etched his name into the stones at Ogren Field. 0-1 count. Misses up high. Count goes to 1-1. A teammate at Lafayette was Tanner Solomon. I don't know if I finished that because I kind of got off on a tangent. We're getting late. It's hot out. Now I'm completely blanking on what I said before that fly out. As this is a boom shot to right center field. To the track. It is gone. Goodbye, baseball. Dean Miller, his 10th home run of the season. He continues to lead this Range Rider squad in dingers. That one, fire off the bat. It was smoked like a brisket on a nice hot summer day. 9-2, the Range Riders lead. Now Livingston Morris, a man that can also tank the ball, steps in to see if he can try and provide an encore. That one right over the Johns Manville sign in right center field, right to the left of the 380 mark. So that one probably near and around 390 or so. Clobbered off the bat of Dean Miller. The pop is well alive for the Riverside kid. 0-1 is our count here. For Livingston Morris. Already mentioned this great day. He's reached base every time he stepped up, a single, a double, and a walk. 0-1 coming in. That'll miss. Count goes to 1-1. Maybe I'll say what I was supposed to say, or what I was thinking about saying. Tanner Solomon played with Jason Newman in Lafayette, and today Jason Newman has struggled against Tanner Solomon. There is something about guys that you kind of know how to deal with them. Newman, 0 for 3 today, and he struck him out once, did Tanner Solomon. Who knows how much that can be attributed to the history between those two. I'm sure it's friendly, as it's usually hard for things to get unfriendly in summer ball, as there is a casual air to it. Part of the success that Tanner Solomon had in that league led to his signing here with the Glacier Range Riders, as a lot of, despite the casual air to summer ball, they are playing with wood bats in summer ball, which is, more like the professional baseball ranks. And so you can get a better read on maybe how somebody's going to deliver. And also you're playing a lot more. You're playing every day. You're not having to deal with schoolwork. How do you deal with all those different things that are closer to pro ball than college ball is in the spring? That one will miss. Count goes to 3-2. So, as a conclusion to my 5-page essay on the Prospect League and the Lafayette Aviators, thank you to Todd Solomon for filling me in on that. I always love to see guys that are former teammates and know each other, because as big as this country is, and Livingston Morris earns himself a walk, as big as this country is, as much baseball is played in this country, not just in the continental U.S. There's, of course, the Alaskan Baseball League, plenty of baseball in Hawaii as well. As big as it is, baseball is a small town sometimes. And if you don't know somebody exactly, you know somebody that played with somebody or that crossed paths with somebody here or there. And it's very easy for me and for all these players that have played at their colleges, at different colleges, in different summer collegiate leagues, to figure out a mutual friend and connect that way. It's cool to see when guys do connect that way. Speaking of summer collegiate leagues, this guy played in what is almost universally recognized as the best summer collegiate league in the country, the Cape. Drew Sims at the plate, 2 for 3 today. A home run and a double in his debut. The 1-0 will come in to Sims. It'll miss high, make it 2-0. He's got a runner on first. Livingston Morris having success right in front of Drew Sims has surely helped him. Robbie Scott, I mentioned, who did the same thing that Newman did last year. Start in your summer collegiate league, get off to a good start, show you can play with a wood bat, and then get signed to play some pro ball and maybe start your journey to the next level. Swung on a foul ball. Count goes to 2-1, 2 outs. Of course, a lot of these batters know it's so hard to get picked up by teams, affiliated teams, as a position player. It's a lot easier as a pitcher. There's a lot more movement, a lot more in and out. Shoulders can get banged up pretty easily, as, players who follow both these teams know. There's a lot of shuffling of the pitching staff. A nice pitch there, breaks into the zone from Dan Swain. Count goes to 2-2, 2 outs. Livingston Morris still on first. It's 9-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Drew Sims at the plate. And with his hometown being listed up on the big screen here, already hear some shouts of Hollywood, and it has been showtime for Drew Sims. Not there. He comes up empty, swinging and missing, and he strikes out to end the 7th inning. It is 9-2. The solo home run from Dean Miller. We head to the 8th. We are back in the top of the 8th, a 9-2 lead for the Glacier Range Riders over the Missoula Paddleheads. It is the end of the day for Drew Hallwager. Just one inning pitched from the left-hander out of Ohio by way of Florida. And it was a solid inning for him. 1 inning pitched, 3 batters, all 3 grounding out. 6-3. Yeah, that'll do. No hits, no runs, no strikeouts, no walks. Really nothing. And that is the perfect thing you want to see as a pitcher. You're completely fine with that. As we have another professional debut, we've already seen 2 tonight by way of Drew Sims and Robbie Scott. And now it is Jonathan Tyler, the 6'5" right-hander out of Santa Clarita, California. He makes his professional debut. Got a good ovation from the crowd as Tony Hernandez made sure to emphasize this is the first pro outing for the kid that was born 2 years, just under 2 years after I was. 23-year-old from California. And here's your fun fact of the day. And this is a weird one. As the first pitch is hammered out to right field, Linscott backs up. He goes to the track and makes the grab. Brandon Reilly hammered that ball, but it did not have enough juice on it. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Jonathan Tyler in his professional debut. Maybe a little bit of a shaky moment for him as he saw that one crack off the bat and was very thankful that it stayed in the yard. Not the ideal way to start your professional career, allowing a home run, but that will get the job done. Fly out to right field is out number 1. Now Cameron Willman will step up. I have your fun fact of the day waiting. Don't worry. 1-0. Jonathan Tyler was born on November 6th. Also making his pro debut tonight, Robbie Scott was born on November 6th. If the stats I have are correct, that is weird. As this one's floating out into right center field, it's going to one hop before Sam Linscott picks it up. Weird. Weird little Scorpio magic going on in there. I think those guys are Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio and I'm November 8th, so yeah, I assume they are. A single from Cameron Willman. That is the first hit for the Missoula Paddleheads since the 3rd inning. Lamar Sparks steps up. Now it's the heart of this order, ever dangerous. Lamar Sparks batting over 400. First pitch will miss low. A reminder how the defense is lining up for Glacier right now. I don't think we've had any defensive substitutions today. It's Sims behind the plate, Miller over at third, Broussard's the shortstop, Cash is at second, Wofford's over at first. The outfield from left to right is Robbie Scott, Ben Mcconne, and Sam Linscott. Another skip in the dirt and another good block from Sims behind the plate. 9-2 is our score here. Just 5 outs needed for the Glacier Range Riders to close out an impressive Game 1 victory in this 6-game series against the defending champions. Not quite in must-win mode, but the Range Riders cannot stumble much further than this as Lamar Sparks nearly lost his shoes on that one, firing away and coming up empty on the swing and a miss. I mentioned to start off the game, scoring first, the Range Riders have a winning record. When they don't score first, they tend to lose. That one will miss. Count goes to 3-1. 1 out, runner on first. An update from around the league. Grand Junction leads Rocky Mountain 10-3. They'll look to keep their hold on the South Division first place. Idaho Falls, who is in first place in the North, is trailing Great Falls now 5-3. That could be beneficial to the Range Riders, technically. Everybody's above them right now, but the first place team losing is never a bad thing for the teams that are not in first place. No swing. It'll be ball 4. Walked is Lamar Sparks. Boise and Ogden are tied at 2 apiece. And the other game is ours. Willman moves to second. He's pushed there on the walk. Sparks is over at first. And now Jason Newman, who I mentioned, struggled against his former summer collegiate teammate, Tanner Solomon. He steps up. Fly out. That went to deep right. A ground out. to the third baseman, and then Solomon kind of completed the get him out every different way hat trick with a strikeout to finish off. And Newman, an unfortunate feeling that he might be due. First pitch misses, kind of an awkward reception there from the catcher, Sims, as he's going to go. Maybe he was crossed up there, thinking that was going to be a different pitch. Maybe that's why it was so awkward. We don't have the behind the outfield camera in to really see kind of how awkward that was, but you can only assume as an awkward delivery, and then he goes and meets with his pitcher. Usually that is kind of in cross-up mode. Again, Jason Newman 0 for 3 tonight, 6-year career at Cal State Northridge. He is from Northridge, California, like Dean Miller. Went to the Cal State University System School in his hometown in California before coming out here. And after that brief stint in Lafayette, being a part of this Paddlehead squad and winning himself a championship. The 1-0. Swung on it in the dirt. Good block from Sims on it. Count goes to 1-1 now. 1 out, runners on first and second. Unless we see a double play, we'll see Gatewood, who is waiting on deck. Righty-righty matchup here between Newman, wearing the number 55, standing 6'4", 280 pounds. That one in the dirt, as it'll be only breaking balls, really, that they're going to give Newman. Ball makes it 2-1 with 1 out. Cal State Northridge is Division II, as is Wayland Baptist, where Tanner Solomon played his ball. And sent them on a collision course to play together with the Aviators. This one swung on, over to third. Just tapping first and then throwing across. Oh, my goodness. They got the out over at third, I believe. Well, Cameron Woolman's not staying in it. They're not moving. And Nick Hogan's going to come and ask about this one. That looked like Dean Miller got the out. It was close. Conversation's going to happen here. Sure, Nick Hogan in general, maybe not super thrilled with the decision by Dean Miller to try and go for third there. But this is a big call. It looked to me like it was out at third, but I didn't give it that much of a look. It was a good race put on by the speedy Willman. And maybe I'll go back and try and watch that, see if we have a clear. Oh, yeah, I just froze it. Oh. I'm looking at a freeze frame right now on my computer where Dean Miller is throwing it and his right foot is on the bag, and it's not high definition, so maybe it's missing, but Cameron Willman there is clear space between him and that third base bag. Oh, that's a tough call, because that means bases loaded. 1 out, bases 2 on first and second with 2 outs. That's the difference in that one. And it really looks to me, I mean, you can back it up, try and freeze it for yourself. We do not have a high-definition slow-mo replay that we can bring you, but that's a tough call to get. Paddleheads and the Range Riders actually had a game earlier this season where Nick Hogan, as well as Michael Schlacht and Jeff Lyle, all got tossed in a game. This one's hit, line shot, and the throw to second will not come. Right to Ryan Cash, and one pitch into Gatewood's at-bat goes to a line out. I'm just wondering if that'll be called a fielder's choice safe on that Jason Newman, because I think he would have been out pretty clearly over it. I mean, he was almost thrown out at first after Miller went and touched third. This one swung on and missed as professional debut for Jonathan Tyler, and now the first professional jam for him. Bases loaded, one out after a call that did not go his way, and trying to get out of it with nothing against him. However, with runners going on contact, the batter, Keaton Greenwald, could also change this game largely based on what happens. 1-1. There's a called strike. Count goes to 1-2, 2 outs. Greenwald at the plate. 9-2 is our score here. As a huge pitch is upcoming with the bases loaded. Willman on third, Sparks on second, Newman on first. Greenwald 0 for 3 tonight. Could change his fortunes here, though. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for Jonathan Tyler. And for him, the first professional strikeout of his career. A big one to keep us at 9-2. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for some insurance here from the Glacier Range Riders. Don't go anywhere. Up comes one of our 3 debutants today, Robbie Scott. 1 for 2 with a double. He gets the lead off the inning here. First pitch that he'll see will miss high. That one swung on. It's over to third. The throw across the diamond is on target and in time for out number 1. Scott can't beat that one out. He goes to 1 for 3 on the day in his professional debut. Successful for him with that double. Yeah, he's going to get overshadowed by Sims, who had the home run as well. But Robbie Scott, definitely somebody that Nick Hogan and the rest of the coaching staff and clearly the fans here are excited to have on the roster. First pitch to Brant Broussard misses high. Count goes to 1-0. We do have a new pitcher for the Missoula Paddleheads. It's Conor Schultz. Schultz comes from the University of Iowa, and he pitches a second ball there. CC didn't necessarily agree with that. That one smacks the zone. Count goes to 2-1 for Brant Broussard, who's 1 for 2 today. This one's hit into shallow right field. Charging in to make the play is Lamar Sparks, but he will not be able to. A base hit puts Brant Broussard's day to 2 for 3. A single into right field. Ben Mcconne now 1 for 3 tonight. A single and a sacrifice fly for him. A little bit more about Conor Schultz making his second ever professional outing. Pitched 2/3 of an inning earlier this year and allowed 2 earned runs in that time. As this one's fouled back. Count goes to 0-1. Spent 4 years at Butler, and we get full circle here. He pitched in 2018 for guess who? The Lafayette Aviators, who I spent all of last inning talking about. He had a good season there in Lafayette in the Prospect League, and that was in the midst of his 4-year Butler career. Misses high. Count goes to 1-1. Really highlighted by his sophomore season with the Bulldogs, a 6-1 record in 13 starts, a shutout for him. He had 79 strikeouts to 21 walks. Really great numbers. Earned himself a good enough stat line to get himself recruited to go play some Big Ten baseball for Iowa in a 5th year of eligibility. 2-2 record for the Hawkeyes in 16 games, 8 starts, and 49 strikeouts to 19 walks for Schultz. He's a pretty tall customer, standing 6'4", 225, 23 years old, out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. One, two coming into Ben Mcconne. Brant Broussard on first with 1 out. No steals today by the Glacier Range Riders, and Brant Broussard not being held on. This one's hit to right field, carrying out there. Lamar Sparks seems to have a beat on it, and he does. He'll grab that in the deep outfield for out number 2. We got 2 pitchers warming up right now in the bullpen for the Glacier Range Riders. Somebody will be coming on to finish this contest out. And a pinch hitter coming in for Ryan Cash. We'll see if this is a designated pinch hitter. Maybe Eddie McCabe will be allowed to play second base for the final inning, but just the fact that Ryan Cash has been the only batter to really, the only player to really take that second base spot in the past, month, 2 months. Well, I guess the season started almost exactly 2 months ago. So really, once we got to mid-June, that second base spot was his, Ryan Cash's. So we'll see if this is just a pinch hit for Eddie McCabe or if it's a defensive replacement as well. He does have a good defensive ability. 0-1 is the count. And make it 0-2, another called strike for Eddie McCabe. Sam Linscott on deck. Oh, 2 outs, runner on first. Swung on and missed. A 3-pitch strikeout for Conor Schultz of Eddie McCabe, and he throws his first professional scoreless inning. It is 7-9. It is 9-2. We head to the 9th, the last chance. The Range Riders need 3 outs for an opening series victory over the Missoula Paddleheads. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of this contest is coming right up. The final pitcher, or at least in theory, the plan is the final pitcher to see the mound for the Glacier Range Riders is number 19, Austin Steinfer. He'll come in with the opportunity to throw the final 3 outs and finish off this contest. He is guaranteed to see 7, 8, and 9 in the form of Thompson, Cece, and O'Connor. First pitch from Austin Steinfort misses. The count goes to 1-0. Cameron Thompson 0 for 3 today with a hat trick of groundouts. Austin Steinfort on the season. This is his 25th appearance. He has the most appearances as a range rider, a 3-1 record, 2 saves for him. And as that one misses, the count goes to 2-0. 21 strikeouts to 14 walks for Steinfort. 2-0 about to come in. Again, feel free to join us tomorrow or any other day this week for a Paddleheads Range Riders matchup. Foul ball. Count goes to 2-1 now. Two one, no outs. Into Cameron Thompson. Steinfort sets and fires. It'll miss, and it'll skip off the glove of Drew Sims behind the plate. As of right now, Drew Sims might be the candidate that has an interview posted on the Glacier Range Riders social media page before the end of the night. (3-1), no outs. And it'll be a ball to start off the outing for Austin Steinfort. A 7-run lead from the Glacier Range Riders. As Nick Cece comes up, he broke up the no-hitter that Tanner Solomon was working. But I'll tell you what, Tanner Solomon kept his composure after a couple hits against him in the third. And absolutely, as much as the explosive offense we've seen, he deserves a lot of credit for this potential victory here. He would be in line for his first professional win if he is able, if the Range Riders are able to hold on to the lead. Huge milestone for Solomon, who got onto this team and said, I'll do whatever it helps, essentially. And that initial job was to be a bullpen pitcher. This one, speaking of the bullpen, goes over near the bullpen, but it's foul. Linscott just not enough to get to it. I don't know if he would have even been able to make the play. It was right at the fence. 0-2, no outs. For Nick Cece at the plate, O'Connor on deck. Doesn't look like a pinch hitter is warming up. Pinch hitting options, they got Henderson Perez, Patrick Chung, and Jared Akins. Just believe those are the pinch hitting options. As a swing and a miss. And it will be an advancement to second there, so I think that might be a pass ball. Or maybe Thompson was just running on the pitch there. Call it a pass ball to advance Thompson to second. Up comes McLean O'Connor. 1 out now after Austin Steinfort gets the strikeout to put 1 away. They don't care all that much about Thompson at second. Going to need a lot more than him to make this a ball game. But now unless we get a double play here, are pretty much guaranteed to see the top of the lineup, which I'm sure Hogan and the Range Riders would have preferred to avoid. Pitch goes low. Count goes to 1-0, 1 out. Paddleheads need 7 here in the top of the ninth. Long pause. And now the 1-0. Swung on. He definitely went. Count goes to 1-1. Glacier Range Riders, not to jinx anything, but when they lead going into the 9th inning, they're 16-2. And I don't have the official stat on when they lead by more than 5 runs, but I don't think, when I think back into my Rolodex, that they have not come up with a win in that situation. A swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 now. McLean O'Connor at the plate, singled his first time up, but a pop out and a ground out since. 1-2 with a runner on second, coming in. Misses up near the head. Count goes to 2-2. One out, runner on second. Foul ball just stays alive. Let me get you a final reading from around the Pioneer League. Again, we're going to work on what the difficulty is with getting our stats out, so hopefully you can go and read the box score yourself on the website. I'll give you a little bit of a box score here that I have on the conclusion of this contest. I can tell you the professional debut final line for Jonathan Tyler. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And speaking of strikeouts, there's a K. 2 work on now as Austin Steinfer will see Brandon Reilly the last chance for the Missoula Paddleheads. Final look around the PBL. Top of the 9th, Grand Junction leads Rocky Mountain 13-3. If that result holds, Grand Junction moves to 5-2, keeps their lead in the South Division. Boise leads Ogden 3-2. That would be a big win for the Hawks to try and keep their name in the hunt there and beat a team that doesn't really have to worry about making the playoffs in this second half. And Great Falls leading Idaho Falls. And a swing and a miss from Brandon Reilly makes it 0-1. If this result holds, it will be still a lead for Idaho Falls in the North Division, but they will be followed 1 game behind by all 3, Missoula, Great Falls, and Billings. Called strike. Count goes to 0-2. The last strike, the Paddleheads are down to 0-2. 2 outs. 9-2 in this Tuesday night clash between the defending champions and the new kids on the block. The 0-2 pitch coming in. Steinfort sets. A couple glances to second, and he fires. Swung on. Over to first. Fielded on a couple hops from Brody Wofford. And a casual tap of the bag. Out number 3. And the Range Riders win. It was an offensive explosion in the early going. 3 runs in the second. 4 runs in the third. Tacked on a run as well in the 6th and the 7th. And that is the offense getting the job done, breaking up a 5-game losing streak at home and giving these fans at Flathead Field a much-needed game to cheer about after some struggles in front of the home crowd. The win will be a first professional win for Tanner Solomon. He finishes 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. For the kid out of Phoenix, Arizona, the Range Riders gave him a chance to play his professional ball, started as a bullpen pitcher, and now filling a starting role and doing it sparklingly today to get the win. Austin Seidel receives his first loss as a Missoula Paddlehead. He goes 5 1/3, 6 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Let me go over the scoring plays real quick, and then I'll kind of highlight some of the players that are highlights in the box score. All right, what were the plays of the game? What were the plays that defined this game? Scoring, first of all, Brant Broussard with the bases loaded. He singled, what was called a single, on a slow roller to the second baseman, and then an error by Jason Newman scored 2 more runs after the RBI infield single from Broussard. That made it 3-0. Then Missoula came back. Reilly gets an RBI single, makes it 3-1, and then an RBI double from Lamar Sparks makes it 3-2. However, a big response from the Glacier Range Riders. Livingston Morris doubled into left field. That scored Sam Linscott, and then a home run in his professional debut from Drew Sims. Wrote the story of a 7-2 ball game. That was a 3-run bomb from the catcher for the Glacier Range Riders. That was 7-2. It stood at that for a while until we get to the bottom of the 6th. The bases got loaded. Ben Mcconne was able to get a sacrifice fly that a heads up and quick Livingston Morris scored on. 1 inning later, a solo home run from Dean Miller rounded out the scoring in this contest. 9-2, the final score in favor of the Glacier Range Riders. Ben McConnell got a hit. Sam Linscott also got a hit, but it was 2 hits from the guys near the bottom of the lineup. Dean Miller, Livingston Morris, Sims, of course, Drew Sims in his debut, a double and a home run. And then Brant Broussard gets 2 hits as well. Runs scored, Livingston Morris scored 3 times. 2 runs scored for both Miller and Sims. And then in terms of RBIs, the only man with multiple RBIs is Drew Sims. 3 ribbies for the kid out of Hollywood. It was showtime for him in a big first professional outing. On the other side, offensively for the Missoula Paddleheads, nobody had 2 hits, and Jason Newman, a huge force, and I believe I read in a comment somewhere, the sometimes called Big Daddy Jason Newman, was held hitless, and the lone RBIs brought in by Reilly and Sparks, 1 for each of them. Lamar Sparks grabbed 2 walks, but the only runs were scored by Reilly and CC. In terms of pitching, Solomon, I already mentioned his outstanding start, 6 innings pitched, 2 runs, both of them earned, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And then it was scoreless innings thrown by Hallwager, Tyler, and Steinfer. Tyler got out of the jam, a bases-loaded jam after a controversial call over at third base. Call it a hit against him, but no earned runs, and a strikeout and a walk. And then against Hallwager, 3 straight 6-3 groundouts, a 1-2-3 inning work by him, and then other than a walk from Steinfort, he blanked the Paddleheads in the final inning of play. On the other side, Austin Seidel, 5 1/3, 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Swain came in through 1 2/3, allowing 1 hit, 1 earned run, and striking out 1 to 2 walks. He allowed that Dean Miller solo shot, and Schultz gets his first scoreless inning of professional ball, rounding out the pitching lineup that we saw today. It should be a great contest tomorrow between these two sides, both of them looking for a win in Game 2 of the series. The Glacier Range Riders on Wednesdays are 5-5, so you never know what to expect on Hump Day with these Range Riders. 9-2, our final score. The Range Riders take down the Missoula Paddleheads by 7. A huge series opening win for the Range Riders. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7:05 or any other time this week at 7:05 except for Sunday with the 1:05 start time. Tanner Solomon, his first professional win. Drew Sims, his first professional home run. And it was a fun one here for the fans at Flathead Field. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night, and please stay safe out there.